Do you ever feel like you go round in circles at work? When you're in meetings, when you're sitting in a room or you're on a Zoom call, 10 minutes turns into 1 hour, 1 week turns into several months. The chances are that you're debating several solutions and you're not agreeing on anything, and you find that time after time you're just going back to the beginning of the conversation. Well, the chances are that you're discussing a different solution and you're going round in circles because you're trying to apply different solutions to a different problem. With the best will in the world and all the manners in the world, you are not going to come to a consensus until you understand the common problem that you are facing. Now, we tend to jump straight into the solution and then we're stuck in a cycle of arguing over the approach. So here's an example of discussing a solution to the wrong problem. Let's say you have a food delivery service and you've expanded into a new area, but for some reason you're getting complaints that the food is always arriving cold. It's taking too long for the food to get to the customers. So you have a management meeting and one of you is saying that you need to buy better and more expensive food bags because it will keep the food warmer for longer. Another proclaims that it's time you invested into new motorbikes because they'll be faster and you can carry heavier food bags, and so you can deliver more in one go. Now, these are perfectly good solutions if the problem was either that the food bags are no longer fit for purpose, or that the operation is inefficient because it can't carry enough food at one time, and therefore you can't get the economy scale out of the current bikes. Even in this example, there are two different problems are resulting in a discussion between two different solutions that would not solve either of those problems. They're looking at it in the wrong way. The biggest issue is that the management team went straight away to the solution and they didn't spend any time trying to figure out the problem that they have. So this is where we can introduce two powerful techniques, one called the 5 whys and one called walking the floor. Walking the floor is really another way of saying, let's ask the people that are doing the work what is getting in the way for them. Rather than us as a management team just guessing, let's ask the people actually doing the work. The 5 whys is where you get to the bottom of the issue by digging down into the problem, by asking why and then digging further. Usually it takes 5 questions or less to get to the real problem. So in this case, who's doing the work? The delivery drivers. Great, so let's go and ask them. Hey, the customers are complaining that the food is arriving cold. Why do you think that is? We're taking too long to get the food to them in that area. Why is that? We don't know how to get there. You're using GPS on your phones. Why aren't they not working? We keep running into traffic jams and roadworks. Why is the GPS not working? Why is the GPS not giving you the warning? We no longer have the pro version of the app, and so we don't have that feature. Now, maybe you ask someone else at this point, why do we not have the pro version? We made the decision not to renew it. We were told to make cuts. So now you have identified the problem that has nothing to do with the food bags or the bikes. Now, this is obviously a fictitious company and it's all made up, but this management team were just about to invest in new bikes or new food bags at substantial cost, but all they had to do was subscribe to a traffic app or change it, getting a different one to get the solution. In other words, they were trying to solve the wrong problem. So when you're in this situation where you are going round and round, have you talked to the right people and actually figured out if you're talking to the right people or not that are actually carrying out the work? Are you digging down into the reasons behind each of the symptoms? If you start doing that, then you're going to be able to discuss the right problems. For instance, there may be a discussion on whether to change the app, renew the subscriptions, or something else on the GPS front, but at least you're discussing the solution to the right problem. And you'll actually find that when you're discussing the right problem, the meetings are cut down exponentially. So there are a number of lessons to be learned here. 1, ask the people that are actually doing the work. And 2, when you're talking to them, dig down and make sure you're getting to the right problem. Now, another trick that I like to use is when I go into a meeting, I actually take control of this situation. I always take control of the what are we doing here, why are we talking, what's the problem we're trying to solve. And I actually say the question to everyone over and over again, what's the problem we're trying to solve? And then once I get down to the problem, which is a way of just getting to the right things, I use the 5 whys, I use different techniques to get there, but the 5 whys is really powerful. I write the question on a board or I type it in a chat somewhere. And so I can reference that back and I say, guys, we're off course. This is the problem we're trying to solve. Walk the floor and make sure you're speaking to the people that are actually doing the work, and dig down and make sure you're solving the right problem. And that will cut down meeting times exponentially. Guys, if you like what I'm saying and you like these tips and advices, please like and subscribe because it will really help the channel grow. If you've got any problems you want me to go through, please don't hesitate to answer. Thanks a lot. See you next time.